Hi, hello everyone. Good morning from here in Ontario, Canada. Good afternoon and evening, depending on where you are watching me from. I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone that chooses to watch this live session and the ones that will be watching uh, the recorded session afterwards. Kindly let us know where you're watching from, and we try to make this as interactive as possible. So I would like to ask that you please put down some comments in the comment section if you have any comments. Let us know what you agree with and let us know what you don't agree with regards to what I'll be sharing with us today. It's such a beautiful day today outside. We had some snow like 2 days ago, the first snow this year, and that has melted. I think today we are experiencing temperatures in the positive today, about plus 6 degrees Celsius, which is quite great. All right, so thank you once again for connecting with me today. And today, um, I want to be sharing with us something that's been heavy on my heart lately, something that I know that we all face, whether in life, whether in business, or starting something new. Is that battle that's got to do with faith and fear. It's a battle between faith and fear. And it's not easy to just say, okay, I choose faith over fear, like it's like it's like it's some kind of cliche. It's something I've seen everywhere. I use it a lot when I make posts, particularly when I do my Instagram uh, uh, reels. I always use the hashtag faith over fear. But you know what? Living out, living it out, that phrase, faith over fear, living it out is where the work really is. And that's one of the things that may determine, or that may separate, like, pardon my English, like some people say from back home, separate boys from men. That is something that may determine whether or not one is successful or one is not, you know. Uh, so this brings me to this popular scripture that I've been so blessed uh, by. It's something that has got to do with when Joshua was taken over from Moses and the instructions God gave to Joshua. He actually told him, he said that Pharaoh commanded you. He said, "Be strong and courageous." Mm. He didn't stop there. He said, "Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." I mean, you can imagine God's giving you an assignment and he says, "Be courageous." I mean, look at your father, look at maybe your boss giving an assignment and asking you to be courageous and say you should not be afraid. I mean, imagine when you first got that promotion, and then so much is expected of you. And then you are told to be courageous, not to be afraid. The reason why God may tell Joshua to be courageous and not be afraid is because he knows that there will be challenges in the way. He knows that across his path, journeying towards success, there will be things that would test his resolve, that would test his faith, that would test what he actually believes in, whether or not he believes in what is meant for him to be achieved or not. And that's why he says, be courageous. Do not be afraid. You see, like, it wasn't just a comforting statement, it was actually a charge. God was telling Joshua, I know what's ahead of you. I know what's ahead of you. I know it may seem uncertain, but I need you to move anyway. Just think about that. Faith is not the absence of fear, my brothers and sisters, but is the courage to move despite of the fear. And we experience this every day in every decision that we make, in everything that we have to do, whether it's business, whether it has to do with our lives, whether it has to do with children sometimes, whether it has to do with that investment that we want to make. Whatsoever thing, that brings about great success, whatsoever thing that has across from it, growth, there's always fear. I don't know if you agree with me. Let me know if you agree with me. Just put in the comment section there that yes, if you agree with me, and if not, just say no. So it's not the absence of fear; it's just the courage to move despite of that fear. I mean, like imagine when you're about to launch that business. Imagine you are trying to invest in something new or step outside of your comfort zone. And then that fear starts whispering, what if it fails? I don't know if you can relate, what if it fails? What will people say? What if I'm not good enough? I don't know if any of these questions ever popped in your mind before, when you're about taking, that giant stride, I mean, you're about taking that leap of faith. You're about doing something that you have never done before. You're about starting something that may put you over into that place of excellence or that place of increase or that place of growth. Most of us have been there. I've been there. But what makes difference is realizing that faith doesn't mean that fear disappears, but faith just simply says, well, I recognize that the fear is there, but you know what, Mr. Fear, you don't get to decide my next step. You don't get to determine what I do. Like I'll be lying if I tell you that fear is not there most of the time. Because whenever I want to do something, that is that huge, or I'm about to go out of my comfort zone, that fear creeps in. And it whispers also. Oh, people say, it whispers to me, what if it fails? But I think by now I know better. And every day I keep improving, by reassuring myself the reason I've started what I've started. And I know what God says concerning me, that I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. So I just make sure that I look that fear in the eye and I say, okay, I recognize you there, but I'm not going to let you stop me from achieving what I have to achieve. You will not dictate the pace of my life or growth. You will not dictate what next I do. Because when you let fear dictate what next you do, there is a possibility that you'll be doing wrong things, right? You probably will be reacting, you'll be reactionary rather than being responsive in most decisions making anyway. So courage is actually, that bridge that stands between fear and faith. It's that, like it's the one that gives you, that gives you that decision, that tells you, move forward. I don't know if you've ever experienced before, you're about doing something, maybe I mean, like I won't say you're scared, but you're about doing something, you're about taking that bold step, and then you see like, I'm like your hands, are kind of like shaking, but you just go ahead anyhow. That's courage. It's courage that advises, or it's courage that makes you go ahead in the face of the adversity. I say, okay, you know what? I'm just going to do this anyhow. That's the courage. And courage is something that is required because in business, courage shows up when you record that first video. You know, even though your voice may be shaking, I remember the first time I had to do a live video. I mean, coming from the oil field, never even had a Facebook um, account, never had to post anything, not even still pictures. Then I now have to do a video, and not just a video that's live. So I'm just thinking, okay, so Femi, you are speaking to the whole world. What are you saying? What if what you're saying doesn't make sense to them? What if they don't accept it? What if nobody watches? You know, I mean, like all sort of things begin to play in your mind. And then at that point in time, right, you see that even though sometimes you are making sense, you're not whether you're making sense or not, it does not really matter at this point in time. You just notice that your voice begins to shake, you know. But anyway, what we have learned in the course of time, and this is one of the reasons why I tell people that, you know, like in this business, that it's not just the funds, it's not just the income that we make that really plays us at a point of advantage, but it's also the personal development, you know, because, you know, like in the course of the training, we are taught several times that, okay, yes, when you try the Go Live the first time, you may feel scared and all that stuff, right? You know, your voice may be trembling, you know, your hands may be shaking and all that, but you just have to keep at it. So just think about it. I've just done a video, my first video, and in that video, live video, my voice was trembling. It was obvious that this was my first time. It wasn't my terrain. It wasn't my forte. You know, it wasn't something that I was good at doing. You know, but anyway, I did it that first time, and the moment I finished it was like, wow, thank you, Jesus. I mean that kind of excitement that, okay, finally, you know, I was able to do it, and then you now start wondering, okay, do I have to do another one? And whenever it's suggested to you that you have to do another video, you know, that fear comes in again. But, you know, we learned over time that we have to be courageous. Even though the first one didn't look like it was good, even though we're not sure of what the second one will be like, we just keep going because it's practice that makes perfect. You know, even though we're unsure who's watching, you know, but then we just go ahead anyhow. So you see, like whenever you invest in your growth, most times your mind says, what if? What if? What if it doesn't work? What if it fails? But here's the thing I want to tell you today. On the other side of that fear, on the other side of that fear, on the other side of that adversity is growth. You see, like every breakthrough, every testimony, every success story that you may have admired or you will ever admire in life started with someone who chose courage over comfort. You can't be in the comfort zone and expect, you know, to have a breakthrough. You can't be in the comfort zone and expect to have great success or have a success story. In order for you to be able to have that, in order for you to be able to experience that, you know, like the courage that you have must be able to push you, must be able to push you and challenge you, push you out of that comfort zone. That's when you begin to experience that growth. So, like all those people, like I said earlier on, all those people that you see that have success stories, whether in their businesses, in their lives, if you read their stories, you see what they went through. All of them started from the same start point that you are today, that I was at some point in time. That point where that fear crept in and was asking me, what if it failed? What if I'm not good enough? I mean, I don't know who's watching me. You know, what will people say about me, you know, doing these things? So my admonition today is for you is not just to say faith over fear, but endeavor to live it. Live that faith over fear. Let courage walk hand in hand with your faith. And when that fear shows up, because it will always show up, remind yourself that God's got you, you know, and they are not doing whatever it is alone. Whether you're starting a new digital business, whether you're changing careers or you're chasing that dream that scares you, just remember that you're not alone and fear is not your stop sign. Don't let fear be your stop sign. Fear is a sign that there is stretching, you know, that there is success on the other side. Fear is just a sign that you are stretching or you are being stretched into something bigger because, you know, beyond fear, like I said earlier on, always lies growth. Beyond fear lies freedom. Beyond fear lies everything that you ever been praying for. So take that step of faith. You know, you may be scared, but be faithful to whatsoever it is that you have chosen to do. And don't let fear be your stop. Don't let it stop you. And this is the end of this live broadcast. And I want to say a big thank you to you all that you are watching, and those of you that will be watching later. However, 2 days ago, 2 days ago, I had a live broadcast with some ladies. A continuation of one of those things I was sharing with us. On my with regards to the power of community, as regards to my business. I was saying that we have one of the things that makes success easier for us in our community as compared with other people. One of them is because of the power of the community. And I said within the community, we have mentoring, we have coaching, and we also do have global support. And then 2 days ago, I brought 4 ladies on set here, and then they are just come back from one of the gatherings, where physical gatherings, right, where they all met in Rome. This gathering was meant for people that live in Rome or that live in its environs, or people that live in other parts of the world that want to be a part of it. And then I spoke with them to find out what their experiences were, vis-a-vis their expectations and what they learned. I'm going to continue in this faith, and by tomorrow, I'll be interviewing somebody else, another lady that just came back from Germany, from Ghana and Gold, Germany. Like the reason I'm showcasing all this is so that you'll be able to understand the power of the community. Is to be able to understand that it's not just the business alone. Yes, we all came together just for the purpose of this business, but beyond that business, the connection that we make eventually, the networking that that we're able to make, and seeing people that you have worked with virtually in the last 4 or 5 years, 1 year, people whose lives you have impacted or they have impacted your life positively, and seeing them for the first time physically, what it can do to you. That's one of the things that we expect to see, from this live broadcast tomorrow. So I will employ that you please join me tomorrow. That will be at 2 p.m. Eastern time, when I'll be interviewing Esther. Thank you very much. Have a great day, and God bless you. Cheers.